Hello to all table tennis enthusiasts. In this video we will talk about the durability of rubbers and what causes them to wear out. We'll also discuss how often they should be replaced. A common question is how often or after how much time rubbers need to be changed. We'll talk about this and what causes rubbers to wear out more quickly. For example, an often asked question is, how often do you recommend changing rubbers when playing 3 to 5 hours a week on average? I play at a rating of 500, for example. I recommend replacing them when the rubbers are worn out. Or simply when you feel like it. Not based on time. If they wear out after a week, then they need to be replaced. If you've played for 2 years and the rubber is still in good condition, then you can keep playing until it is in bad condition. Because rubbers don't wear out from time, but from playing. And playing styles differ among players. Therefore, the same rubber will wear out at different rates for different people, and different rubbers will wear out at different rates for the same player. By the way, while we are making interesting and useful videos and reviews for you, feel free to visit our store TT Maximum more often for your shopping. It will be the best way to show your appreciation for our videos. How long a rubber will last before it wears out depends on various factors. This is influenced by the style of play, since the load received by the rubber depends on it. The material the rubber is made of also plays a role, as different types of rubber can withstand pressure in different ways. The strength of the rubber's assembly also matters, meaning how securely the sponge is glued to the top sheet. Additionally, non-game factors can affect the durability of rubbers. This includes the carefulness in applying and removing the rubbers, how often they are re-glued, removing glue from the sponge, the type of glue used, and the use of boosters. As for playing, the higher the skill level, the more pressure is put on the rubber, and the faster it wears out. Therefore, beginners and amateurs don't need to concern themselves with how many hours of play professional players spend before changing their rubbers. A national team level player might change their rubbers every week. But for an amateur, the same rubber could last for a whole year, because high-level players' rubbers wear out much faster than those of beginners. This is because wear happens due to the physical interaction between the rubber and the ball. The racket hits the ball, and the rubber gradually wears down, tears and gets damaged in other ways. It's easy to notice that high-level players hit much harder than beginners. However, even for players of the same level, but with different playing styles, the same rubber will wear out differently. A player who plays more topspins will wear out the rubber faster than someone who plays blocks, counter drives, and flat shots. This is because it's not just the force of the rubber's interaction with the ball that matters, but also the different types of contact. Different angles of contact between the rubber and the ball result in varying degrees of wear. The flatter the game, the less strain on the rubber. The more spin you generate during the shot, the more pressure the rubber will face. By the way, while I'm explaining all this molecular physics to you, please hit the like button and subscribe. There are players who hit most of their strongest shots in the same spot on the rubber. And then there are other players whose ball contacts are more evenly spread across the entire rubber surface. As a result, for the first group, a small worn-out patch appears much earlier, even though the rubber around it remains intact. But the rubber needs to be replaced because this small worn-out spot no longer allows for proper play. For the second group, the rubber lasts much longer because the wear is spread over a much larger surface. By the way, there's a saving method, flipping the rubber upside down after the top part wears out. This works for players whose rubbers wear out in a small patch on the top part. At the same time, players of different levels have different requirements regarding the extent of rubber wear. Beginners may not notice a loss of control with worn-out rubbers because they use simpler techniques. Simpler techniques don't suffer as much when the rubber is worn out or may not suffer at all. However, more advanced techniques are much more demanding on the rubber's quality, and the ball may slip off the worn-out rubber. There could also be a general loss of control, decreased spin, reduced speed, or all of these combined. To sum up, there is no point in looking for a benchmark for rubber life expectancy. The important thing is that a specific player understands how rubbers wear out and knows how to determine when their rubber has worn out significantly and needs to be replaced. That's all. If you have any questions on this topic, feel free to ask them in the comments below the video.
Готово.